So you'll know. So we're gonna do the two matches, and our first match will be using Tourney Flags 1, which shuffles up order, world order, level order, what have you, enemy placement, and so on. And as you see, though, the first world was not randomized, it was World 1, but the first level is 3-1. Right away, gimpxtreme getting whacked by a cheap because they're cheap. So, the raikourider gets through 3-1 pretty easily. 1-2, ouch. Another rather difficult level to lead off with, 8-1. As Small Mario, no less, and not a particularly friendly group of piranha plants either. Ooh, Raikou getting dinged by the bullet bill, so he's going to have to do this again, and our runners are back to even. So they're going to have to hope for a little bit of good fortune and some favorable RNG, I think. Gimp getting through, but got hit by a barrage of bullet bills. Ooh, he gets clipped by another bullet bill. Raikou playing it smart here, getting himself all powered up here, and allowing himself a chance to get through this level relatively cleanly. Ooh, almost went over the edge there, but oh boy, oh, Gimp. This is a little harder than it has to be, but he gets through. And our first fort of the game is 5F1, which is a pretty easy fort, although they can't avail themselves of the speed strats because under version 1.2, which is the version we're running on, Disco Waffles have had their movements randomized. So those tried and true P-speed strats will not work here. Gimp gets through 8-1 at last and remains about a level behind raikourider as we head to the halfway point of World 1. The 1-5 is 2-3, a popular spot for Boss Basses. Boss Bass and Angry Suns can randomly appear and can make levels very, very difficult if they want to. Raikourider is using the P-switch strat to get through and not have to worry about Koopas. Nice idea. And he will help himself to a 5-up, which is not a bad strategy to use if you're not feeling comfortable and you've had a kind of a rough run of levels early, like he did with 8-1. So, last regular level in World 1 is 4-3. So we've gotten an interesting mix of levels here. 4-3 is popular in the vanilla speedrunning community for its P-speed strats. They're not going to be able to use them to great effect here. But still, Raikou is able to pull through. So first Hammer Bro fight, and you'll notice that the Hammer Bros, in terms of who you fight, and how many in what arena, so our first airship is the World 4 airship. Raikou is there first. quick fight for Raikou against Larry, and he'll grab the wand at about 459. So Gimp is going to try his hand at the end card game, and the end card game is randomized, so you can't rely on your vanilla strats here. To get through it. And the items that you get are randomized as well, so flowers can give you something else altogether. World 5 is up next, and we get 7-4. So 7-4 is an auto-scroller turned off, but you'll all... And that is generally the case with this the auto-scrollers. There are only two that are still still in play, 5-9 and one of the lost levels, which has been lovingly dubbed Atlantis. Raikourider is going to try his luck at the end card game. Didn't. Went 0 for 2 there. Raikou most of the way through 3-9. Raikourider in 6-8, another popular boss bass level. He gets the H jump, it looks like, and carries on through. Yes, Rainbow Mon, there are 8 lost levels, mostly finished levels that have been included in the mix to add a little variety here. Gimp is actually opting to go for the fort and gets the Navy. Not a threat you often see, but works out pretty well for him. Raikou using his hammer and gets 6F3, otherwise known as Carpet Fort. H jump, that's the series of breakable blocks in 6-8. Yeah, Carpet Fort is what we call 6F3 because of the boo carpets that are kind of sliding around that opening section. Raikou has no problem with 6F3. Gimp is working his way up the tower. So Raikou is in one of the 8 lost levels, a kind of a 5-3 beta-esque level that can be really laggy if you don't get if you get bad enemy patterns like, you know, bloopers with their little babies. Raikou's taking his time, as well he should, gets through. So Gimp is playing this through and is in 6-2. Raikou, remembering his end card, goes on and grabs one match, and there's a second with the flowers. So Raikou, continuing on, gets 5-8, which is not a level you particularly want to see, and gets caught by a Spiny, so he's going to have to do this again. Fortunately, he doesn't have a cloud to use to skip this level. Raikou is taking his time with 5-8, as well he should, and gets through. Raikou gets our first, what we call a Fred. He gets the World 5 airship in World 5. So Gimp is about a level behind, a level and a half. He's doing all right. He's just got to be kind of careful here. World 7, which can be which lives up to his name, is a pipe maze, and Raikou is in the Southern Island. He's actually going to play this, which is unusual because it's going to take him 2 pipes just to get to 1 level. Raikou's now in 7-8. And not a level you want to see really under any circumstances, although he's getting a pretty good draw with the piranhas out of the box. Gimp grabs the wand at about 15-10. Raiku's in 4-5 now. Pretty straightforward level. The beginning can be a little tricky, but Raikou has no problems. Gimp's in 1-6 with a lot of laggy enemies trying to wreck his day. Raikou is trying the South Island gamble. We'll see if it pays off here. If it doesn't, major time sink that allows gimpxtreme a chance to get back into this. Finishing up the end card, it looks like he's got a good handle on it. Raikou is in the first Piranha stage, one of 4 levels that will never be randomized based on its position. The others being, of course, the Tower in World 5 and Bowser. Raikou has found 7F2, a favorite among all Mario 3 players, rando and vanilla alike. So, Raikou Rider finishes off Boom Boom in 7F2, so he'll get himself another pipe. One of these is going to have to connect. He's running out of choice here. Not that one. Gimp picking up his Cloud. Raikou in 7-6 grabs 2-1. No Boom Boom to make life miserable for him, at least. Alright, so 7-6 down. Where's this going to lead him? Okay, there it is. 7-6 was the correct answer. And 7-8 is the tanks level, which he will go get a free item out of. So yeah, so a rather long-winded World 7, and this seed so far has been pretty long. Over 20 minutes through 3 worlds. And granted, they've been fairly long worlds to begin with, 1, 5, and 7. But they've had to really work for it. Raikou in 7-9 gets another lost level, kind of a 7-2-esque beta. Raikou gets 7F1, which is actually a fairly common thing to see. World 7 forts, if there are 2 forts in a world, they do tend to be paired together. Same with the World 4 forts. You get one in a world and the other one is there, then you're probably getting the other one. Gimp, starting to make his move, then realizes just take the pipe. Second Piranha stage. It's a P-Wing. And another vanilla airship, the World 7 airship. One fine day, is that an intentional bias of the randomizer? I don't know. It's just something I have noticed, having played a fair amount of this, that if the couple of the worlds do seem to bunch their airships together, you know, World 4 airships, World 7 airships, thick Ludwigs, so the 2 thick Koopas are causing trouble here. So Raikou is able to finish him off at 23:05. gimpxtreme is continuing on his way through 7F2. He's not that far behind. He's only about a stage and a half behind. So about maybe a minute. Gimp gonna help himself to the end card, see if he can find the rest, clear out the rest of the card. Raikourider in World 6. He gets a good pipe here, and he does. So the pipes, I didn't really quite mention this, but in Turning Flags 1, with a couple of exceptions, the pipes can take you to random locations. As you saw here, pipe took him past the first set of levels and above 6-4. So he was able to skip the first 3 levels of World 6, which is pretty fortuitous, and save him a couple of minutes. And he got a pretty easy loss level, sort of a 5-7 beta, and gets 7-3 as his next level. Another pretty straightforward level, particularly in the second half when he can use P-Speed strats to great effect. Gimp fighting his thick Ludwig. And for gimpxtreme, because he had the Tanuki suit. Raikourider's in 3-7, which has an item if he wants it. If he goes for it with Boss Bass lurking at the bottom, it does not appear he's going to go for, he's just going to carry on. So a bit of a Fred here with 6F2 in its vanilla location, the Ice Fort. Raikou taking an unfortunate death. He's going to have to do this again. So Raikou is staying just about a level or level and a half ahead of gimpxtreme as we go into final third of the world. Raikou's in 1-1. He has an Angry Sun to contend with, but luckily the Angry Sun doesn't really make his move until very late. Nicely done by Raikou. Gets the coin flip on 6-9, 6-10, goes for 6-9 and gets 3-2, which is a pretty straightforward level. With Raccoon he took a couple of hits to get it, but he got it. Fortunately, got clipped by the Piranha at the very end there. So final level before the airship is 3F2, the H2O fort as we call it. Ooh, Raikou getting dinged by the green Cheep. He'll do that again. Looks like gimpxtreme's in 1-1 right now. Raikou is going with the frog suit, which will make this a little faster. Ooh, Gimp getting caught at the end there and takes a death. So he'll try again. Some opening night jitters for both of our runners as they begin Group A group play in the Mario 3 Rando Tournament. As I stated at the beginning of this race, they are both veterans of last year's tournament and both did make it to the bracket stages, so this is a good early test for them. Raikourider's in the World 6 airship. Another vanilla. That's, I think, 3 airships in a row now that have been vanilla. gimpxtreme went for 610 and got the first hand level. So the hands will give out items, as they do in the regular game, and in this case they give you raccoon tails like the vanilla version. So Raikou grabs the wand at about 30-15, thereabouts. gimpxtreme is still staying within striking distance of Raikou. Little Laurel and Hardy for you. We go to World 4. So does not have a hammer, so he's gonna have to play this through normally. Unless he can squeeze something out of the end card game. Fortunately, it didn't repeat the card from the last time, so he's gonna have to go through. 4-1 is 6-10. Fortunately, not a great enemy set to start this off, so he's going to take the long way around. The P-switch to make this a little more manageable, and get himself an extra life while he's at it. gimpxtreme takes care of Lemmy at 31-39, so about an 85-second gap between our runners. Go to the second half of the run, and it's been a long seed so far. You're wondering when the seed's going to cut them a break and, you know, make it a little faster. So far, it hasn't done very much of that. I've still got World 2 and 3. 3 can be really quick if it's a God Pipe. 2 can be really quick with a hammer or two. Raikou's through 3-3. gimpxtreme trying to hold on to his raccoon tail and get past 6-10. Raikou's in 6-3, which has some tricky platforming, but is a pretty straightforward level for them. First fort is 5F2, Fire Sky Fort, with all the lava. Raikou has no problems with Boom Boom, takes care of him nice and easy. So 1-2 and 4-4. So after this, he'll get a shot at 3 Hammer Bros, and he can really clean up with some good items. If oh, Gimp missing the jump. Oh, that's a toughie. That's rough. It looks like he got sub-pixeled there. Wow, that's a tough way to go. Raikou, couple of regular Hammer Bros and drops them, no problem. There's a hammer. That'll come in handy in World 2. Allow him to skip half the world. If he gets another hammer, he can finish the job. He gets a forced draw with the giant Hammer Bros. Takes care of them. Took a little work, but he got him. Got a cloud. Nice. It randomizes levels, enemies, world order, items within the level, you name it. Raikou gets 4-1. Who ignores the final hammer bro and goes to the fort, which is Air Force. Raikou takes a death there. He's gonna have to do this again. Using a hammer suit. Got a couple on tap, so he can afford to use one, and it'll make for quick kills on Boom Boom, but you don't want to be burning through these too quickly, because you want to hold on to one for Bowser, because 5 hits with those and he's done. The World 1 airship. Iggy. Unfortunately, hammers do not kill Koopa Kids quickly in random. Yes, Human Mustard. Raikou did get a hammer from one of the Hammer Bros in World 4. gimpxtreme. Raikou grabs the wand at 3721. Don, it takes 35 hits against Bowser with Fire Mario to defeat him. Still faster, of course, than making him jump around. So here's World 2. So Raikou's got a choice. He's got a hammer. He can use it right now, or he could have saved it till later, but he's going to use it now. Skip the first 3 levels. Get 4-4 to lead off. Right, still holding on to that hammer suit. Gimp's gonna go for a little P-Wing action here. Raikou gets the pyramid level. Fairly technical stage. What if they level had nothing but Boss Bass and Sons? Well, unfortunately that can't happen. But it's a nice thought. The logic won't allow that. The programming won't allow that. Gimp grabs the wand at 3908, so Raikou's still holding a steady. Ooh, Raikou missed time the Buzzy Beetle jump, so he's gonna have to reset. Raikou gets 5-3 in 2-5, and this is a level that I think some runners are starting to skip intentionally, if they can, because 5-3, while not especially difficult, is quite long. And Raikou makes Boss Bass's acquaintance again. So he's gonna turn around and play 4 instead. Hope it's better, and it is. 5-5. It would almost have to be better by default, wouldn't it? Gimp's Pyramid. Raikou gets double Fire Bros and finishes the job. Unfortunately, he's not going to get that power up, but does get a hammer for his trouble, so could be useful in World 3. It just depends what kind of pattern. Gimp's having a little trouble with the Buzzy Beetle. Raikou uses his cloud on the pyramid. Grabs a music box. So, not a bad place to use the cloud. Did he? I don't believe he did. Morton, trying to hold his P-Wing, going for a clip where you grab the wand, mostly, with Mario mostly out of screen, you actually save about. Fortunately, he was not able to time it correctly, and will actually add a couple of seconds because of his vertical drop. Last up is World 3. Is it going to be fast, or is it going to be really slow and painful? Slow and painful seems to be the correct answer here. So he's going to have to reverse course and go again. Leading off is 2-5. Pretty simple level, though Paragoombas have been known to cause problems in this world from time to time. Gimp on his way down to Morton. $43.19 wand grab. Oh boy. Raikou finds Atlantis. No part of Atlantis. He should have a. He has a cloud in his arsenal, and he's going to use it. He just better hope he doesn't die in 3-3. It's the quicksand level, so he should be fine. Little Marx Brothers reference for Gimp. Gimp finding that it's a dead end, so he's going to go straight back. 4F2 for Raikou in 3F1 location. Yeah, Oasis, if you don't have to, don't play Atlantis. It is the longest level in the game. At over 75 seconds. Gimp, I don't think has a cloud, so he has to play this, and this is going to be a real time sink. See what, where the pipes will take him. Right, we'll find out. And unfortunately, 3-9 vanilla, behind 3-9 in vanilla location is where it is. And Raikou gets a hammer. It's a little late to actually make that pay off. right now. Not gonna get very much mileage out of it. 3-5 is 5-1. Gimp's about halfway through Atlanta. Raikou is just about finished 5-1. Well, you want to see how long this takes. Compare Atlantis to somebody else playing other levels. See really quick that the numbers add up. The double fire, bro. And a P-Wing. I think it was hoping for a cloud there, but it's not going to come, so... 3-6. 3-8. Almost vanilla. Gimp's nightmare in Atlantis is over, so the quicksand will feel like a dead sprint by comparison. Raikou is going to take an intentional death here at 3-7 to move on to 3-8. It was 7-1, so gets 2-4 as a result. 2-4 is actually one of those levels I don't like to see very early on because Hammer Bros can be a real troll in this level and really cause you all sorts of discomfort and pain. But Raikou uses a P-Wing and doesn't have to worry about that one bit. So, one more level before Wendy, and it's 1-3, which, as we all know from the Wizard, has a hidden item behind the curtain here, but I don't know if he's going to go for it, to be honest. I think he's going to just play through because it's very late in the run, and since he doesn't know what his opponent is doing, he might feel that he's either behind or it's really close, and it certainly is the second choice. Gimp's only about 2.5, 3 stages behind. It won't take much, especially if he keeps winning coin flips like that and gets the second hand level. So World 2 airship. What kind of trolliness Wendy can provide this time. Well, nothing at all. Just a one-hit Wendy and an easy wand grab at 48-10. Oh, we all wish they could be like that, don't we? So, one world to go, and World 8 can be really fast or it can be really awful. And leading off is 6-4. In the race earlier today between Amorietta and Magoo is Adorable, they had to do everything. Pretty close to everything. I think the only thing they didn't have to do was 8-1, 8-2. But because the pipes are randomized, you could be dragged anywhere. You could be sent straight to Bowser, or you could have to do the fun and entertaining route. What's it going to be for these guys? It's the very quick route. It's a straight shot right to Bowser, and Raikou is in go mode, essentially. He's only one level away, and it's 2-4 standing between him and a victory. Gimp is in 3-9. He's in a lot. He's in dire straits. He's basically hoping for some really crazy voodoo stuff to happen right now. Free aids, something we don't see very much of for those of us who've been playing a lot of Tourney Flag 2 lately. Raikou missed the first jump, gets it back on the second, and takes care of his final boom boom for his first match. So he's got his hammer suit, so he's already pretty well set for the match, for the final battle. He's got his... Turns out the anchor was a, what is he doing? Raikou needed a minute there to remind himself of what he was doing. Oh, Raikou missed the elevator. I think he's gonna have to reset the room. Okay, there he goes. Gimp grabs the wand at about 50-29. He's not far behind. He's looking at about a 55 or so for his speed. Raikou passes the staircase with the disco waffles, which again randomized, so they can cause problems the way they wouldn't in vanilla. Raikou's 5 hammer throws. Oh, he got hit. Raikou does not finish the deal, so he's gonna have to close this out the normal way. Raikou's gonna try and set up a 3-jump straight line down to the bottom, and well, he's not doing a very good job of it. And Raikou should know that Bowser doesn't have a hitbox except in his head. Okay, 2 more jumps and that will do it. Gimp is less than a stage behind. Here it comes, last jump, and he's got it. So get out the GGs for Raikourider. Wins the first of this doubleheader. Gimp not far behind. So Raikourider finishes with an official SRL time of 52:32. GG's to Raikourider, who moves to 1-0 with that win. Gimpix. Gimp is gonna try his luck with the hammers. 5 hits and he's done. No problem. Drops Bowser. And we'll take second with an official SRL time. As soon as we go through the door, I'll find out. So official SRL time for gimpxtreme of 53:58. So GG's to gimpxtreme and Raikourider for a really long flag set, tourney flags 1 race. Yeesh. That was not pleasant. So we're gonna get the second race started in a few moments, and we'll take a couple minutes break or so, and then we're scheduled for a 10:30 Eastern start. But if our runners are ready, we're just gonna go ahead and probably just barrel through the second match, which will be tourney flags 2. So hang tight for a few minutes, and we will be right back. Alright, hello everybody, and we are back for the second half of our doubleheader. Tonight, the second match will be using Tourney Flags 2, which is very much like Tourney Flags 1, except now we've added an interesting wrinkle. We've shuffled pipes, levels, forts, locks, and bridges. So it is going to be quite a bit of a randomness here. We get started. Raikourider, for those of you just joining us, won the first race by a minute, just under a minute and a half, with a 52-32 in Tourney Flags 1. gimpxtreme came in at 58, so Gimp trying to even the score here. We are off in World 6, and already you can see exactly what you're used to in your typical Mario 3. There's locks and pipes and all sorts of stuff, places where they shouldn't be. Welcome to Tourney Flags 2. leading off. So, Raiku's going to take a look at the first pipe, and it takes him nowhere. Gimp is having some fun with the hammer, bro. Raiku's going to help himself to a mushroom house. So yeah, as a reminder, as you can see, levels, forts, lock, all sorts of stuff in the overworld map have been shuffled around and scrambled, you wouldn't believe. And Gimp finds his first fort, and it is Navy. So the advantage of having these everything moved around is it requires you to think a little differently than you would in a normal Mario 3 game. So you have to kind of take some guesses and gambles and be very aware of what is on the map as far as what locks have been broken, what hasn't been broken, etc. So you saw that lock near where 6-3 should be. Let's see what happens. Gimp just defeats the fort, but that lock nearby doesn't do anything. And Gimp could make a straight beeline for the pipe in the top right, in the top center, and gets a hammer. See if Raikou how Raikou plays this. Who has to deal with a couple of giant hammer bros first. Gimp's gonna play the fort, so is Raikou. It's an interesting strat. See what happens from all this. We're in Fort Knox, 7F1. Both of them are gonna get their Tanuki suits. Yeah, so 7F1, aka Fort Knox, is one of 2 levels in the game that absolutely require the ability to fly, the other, of course, being 6-5. We got a near sink here. Gimp actually accidentally hit the wall there, hit that cross, trying to get up to the top, so Raikou takes the lead. We are a near sink here. So Raikou goes on to Fort 2. I'm a little surprised. Yeah, there we go. Gimp has got the right idea. He's going to skip Fort 2 altogether. Save himself about 15 to 20 seconds. And gets right into 2-3 with the Boss Bass. Because of course. Yeah, Boss Bass needs a vacation in the desert like everybody else. Gimp is also... Oh, I thought Gimp was going to go for the P-switch. He's decided not to, and is just going to do this normally. Raikou Rider gets himself a Fire Flower. Still hoping for that. Well, I think he was hoping for a Raccoon Tail, but okay, Star, sure. There it is. Gimp is done with 2-3. Gimp goes down to 6-10 and gets 6-4. Having to be really careful here with that, with Boss Bass lurking up above. Gimp, doesn't use the P-switch here to speed through the end of 6-4, and actually has a little trouble with the, switches, but gets through all the same. Nicely done. Raikou's gonna play the end card game. And because the locks bridges are not in vanilla locations, Gimp can go straight onto the World 2 airship. Oh, Raikou found 7-5. And it has Boss Bass. This is every Mario 3 rando runner's worst nightmare. 7-5 with Boss Bass, and I am impressed that Raikou was actually going to try and play that through, but Boss Bass, as always, had other ideas. Human Mustard, what did you miss? You missed 7-5 with Boss Bass. That's what you missed. So, Command. Get your command tags out there, folks. Little Dragon Warrior reference for all of you. Gimp is done at 536. Raikou is on his way to World 5. Head straight into 5F1. Kind of vanilla, isn't it? Classic Gamer says 7-5 with Boss Best. He doesn't mind it. Yes. For those of you who don't know, Classic Gamer is a sadist. He loves the harder. Nothing is too hard or awful for him. 641 grab for Raikou. Gimp takes care of the fort, and look at the map. Okay. So, the interesting thing with the World 5 forts, which actually does factor in here, is the normal colored fort is always going to create a bridge. The blue colored fort will always break a lock. So this is an odd strategy Gimp is going for. Checking the pipes is actually faster play than going up the tower here, because no guarantee that the tower is going to take him anywhere. For all he knows, it's going to take him right down to somewhere on the island there. It's a great gamble if he actually gets this to work, but a 33% chance. And a bit of a time sink. Raikou has no problems with 5F1. See how he does this. He gets the World 6 beta level. So we're gonna find out. Yes, Kingness, it'll take him to one of the 3 pipes. So what's it gonna be? And it is indeed taking him to the eastern side of the island, and he gets double boomerang bros as his reward, and an unfortunate death. So Raikou is going to make the correct play here, and pretty much a straight shot to the finish. Raikou's in 5-5. Hammer for gimpxtreme, so not a total loss. That is true, Human Mustard. Gimp is up a hammer, though hammers don't, while valuable, do not hold the same weight they do in Tourney Flags 1. I mean, they're still valuable, don't get me wrong, but I think they have a little more value in Tourney Flags 1. And Raikou finds 7-6. Start getting your guesses in on the clip before he does it. How many tries is it gonna take? That was about 5 or 6, I think. Raikou ignores the hammer bro. He's just gonna go straight on through. No hammer bro for him. gimpxtreme is in 5-5. That's a fine reminder from Human Mustard. If you haven't already, give our two runners a follow. Give raikourider and gimpxtreme a follow. This has been... They put on a really good show in the first race with that really long and rough seed from the Tourney Flags 1. Human Mustard for beating me to it. gimpxtreme trying his luck at 7-6. Raikou finished off Roy at Grab the Wand at 10:42. Remember, I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. There we go, gimpxtreme. So here you see World 1, and the lock is in front of the fort, is in front of the castle, and the fort is in 1-4's location. And so it's a bit of a time sink to go there. Raikou's saying, nope, I'm just going to go straight on through and play this. Gimp getting a cloud, so he is being rewarded by playing these Hammer Bros. Raikou may well regret this later on. And to answer King this question, is there a Tourney Flags for all hands? Yes, there is. We actually tried that once in a weekly about 6 months ago. It was not particularly well received. But yes, it is theoretically possible to do all hands. I will say it is interesting to do a race that's entirely predicated on luck. Gimp having a little trouble with a thick Roy, got kind of wedged into that corner there, but takes care of him and grabs the wand at 12:44. Gimp's got a... Raikou's got a couple of hammers, so he's not in poverty with those, but we'll have to pick it up a bit. And did get a hammer suit from the Hammer Bro, which is nice. So he's in the World 6 airship, so this should be pretty straightforward against Larry. You're already seeing through 3 worlds, we're already not even 15 minutes in, we're through 3 worlds. It took 23 to get through that many in the previous race. Gimp is in the 7.3 beta. Larry not being so straightforward. No, he wasn't great, but manageable. 13:31 grab. There's no crying in Mario. Remember that. Baseball and Mario, no crying. World 3. This is interesting. This could actually benefit from a double hammer play with the boulders down below, and Gimp, I think, has enough to make that work. I don't think Raikou does. So, Gimp could skip about 4 levels here. No crying in Mario. Princess Toadstool was my manager, LOZ. So, yeah, that double hammer play will allow Gimp, if he has 2 hammers, by the time he gets to this world, he could skip 4 levels. Ooh, Gimp getting clipped by Boomerang Bro's hitbox. Oh, he does have 3 hammers. So this could be a huge play if he knows this. Raikou checking, he realizes he doesn't have it, so he's gonna have to go on through. Goes to 3-2. That's pretty much vanilla, isn't it? gimpxtreme using a P-Wing for the airship. It's actually not a bad airship to use a P-Wing on. World 6 and 7 using P-Wings actually makes it go a bit faster. You don't think, Human Mustard, you don't think he'll double hammer? It's not exactly a usual move you see players do. I mean, I've done it a bit, but I know it's not quite familiar. Gimp getting the wand grab at 1538, so he's going to get a 2 to 3 second clip here. Raikou finds Atlantis. Fortunately, he's going to have to play this. All the more reason. Let's see what how astute gimpxtreme is here. Gonna play 5-1. Raikou is about halfway through Atlantis. Gonna play the end card game. What's he gonna get? Two quick matches. Gets the 1-ups, nice. And he has done it. He has skipped 3 levels and has taken the lead. Very good play by gimpxtreme. Oh, what are the pipes gonna do for him? Okay, well, he knows where to go. Now he's just gotta now he's gotta find the right fort, and we don't know which fort it is. So yes. Well, Gimp doesn't have a hammer to use. Right, you're right, Mustard. Raikou does have a hammer to use on the fort, on the castles, so that swings it back in his favor, but he might decide to hold it. Let's see what he decides. Nope, he's gonna use it. Good idea. gimpxtreme is in 4F1, while Raikou's in the World 5 airship, which is actually a pretty easy airship for Wendy fights, if she doesn't cause too much trouble early. Three hits, minimum 4, and oh, nice. Oh, Raikou, very sharp play. Grabs the wand at 1848. And gimpxtreme made the correct call. Got the right fort. And gimpxtreme not far behind, and Kingness, it wasn't, you know, it happened, but he still made the right play, doing a double hammer play on that. That saved him a lot of time and got him right back into this. And Raikou is going to play the fort in front of him. Gimp having a little trouble with Wendy's, got 1 hit to go. Can he finish this? Yes, he can. Nicely done. He'll grab the wand at 1949, so he's down a minute at the halfway point. Raikou is having fun in 7F2. Remains to be seen if this will actually be required, but it's good practice if the fort is in front of you to just do it, because it's good intelligence and it saves you from potentially backtracking later. Of course, Gimp is up a cloud, which could come in handy, but we'll see. Gimp is gonna segue to the right and see what's on. Well, it leads him to more pipes. Let's see. And more pipes. So Raikou. Okay, so this actually is going to work out okay for Gimp if he gets to the Eastern Island, because there's nothing impeding him from finishing the world. It might be an extra level, but he doesn't have to use that hammer, and it doesn't look like he's going to have to play the fort either, so Raikou inadvertently played a needless level. Gimp's getting a little confused here. He's going to have to play 7-2, which is a lost level, which Raikou is determined. Gimp is playing this level. Ooh, this is not good. This is not a good move by Gimp. This is going to cost him a significant amount of time. Except it can't because it didn't break when Raikou finished it. So this pipe is going to take Raikou Rider somewhere. Gimp taking a death. Yep, there it is. Raikou, given the choice of a fort or a level, he will play the level and it's 5-6. So Raikou carries through and finishes off 5-6 pretty easily. (7-2) was the correct answer. Now Raikou, one level and a piranha away from finishing World 7. Gets 5-7. Boy, there, Gimp finally gets through 7F2, but ooh, this is gonna hurt him. This is gonna stall the momentum he had built for himself after some really sharp play in World 3. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the damage is indeed done, LOZ cards. This is not good. Raikou picking up a cloud there. He had a couple of clouds at his disposal. Could be useful in a World 2. World 2 or something, we'll see. World 3 airship for Ludwig. You're right, Kingness. So, under Tourney Flags 2 and Bracket, World 7 and World 8 navigation can become a bit of a chore. It's be really hard to keep track of what is what. Ludwig needed 5 hits, but Raikou didn't have any problems. Finishes him at 24 flat. So 2 worlds to go. Believe it is World 2 and 4. Gimp is about to learn the very bad news. He's actually going to play the fort, and it's 3F1, so it's actually a case where the fort and the level actually probably break even as far as level length, because 3F1 only takes about 20-25 seconds. World 2, so 1 fort. Now, I should hasten to point out that under the logic, one fort's lock cannot be in a place that prevents you from finishing the world. So it doesn't always pay. So you're almost you can't go for the item and not be stopped. However, there are occasions where going for Boom Boom instead of grabbing the item is faster, because the lock, while it can't stop you from finishing the world, can make your progress a bit slower. So it's an interesting catch-22, but we can't really tell from Raiku's screen if that is in fact the case. We'll have to see if Gimp actually plays this out. So it's something to keep in mind. It has happened, and it has cost some people actually not insignificant chunks of time because they had to play 2 extra levels as a result. And that's true one fine day. You know, it can, it is likely beneficial, but, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Raikou, still holding on to those clouds, and he might use a cloud here on 6-6, because 6-6 is one ugly slog of a level. Yep, he's going for the intentional death. Took a little longer than he would have liked, but finishes him off. 6-6 is not a favorite among the Mario 3 randomizer community because it is a lot of the enemies are random and brutal. Raikou on his way to 3-3, finish off World 2. Much better than 6-6. Raikou activating the P-switch, trying to get a little P-speed going here. Ooh, didn't quite get the jump in time, so go through. Gimp in 1 fort now, he's a couple levels behind. Raikou getting himself a 5-up, I don't think that was intentional, but hey, free lives. Gimp will not be able to grab the item, the power-up set. Raikou's in the World 4 airship. No problem with Boom Boom. 5 fireballs. Raikou Rider's going to have star power against Morton. Now, I should point out, having a star power-up does not kill Koopa Kids the way it would Boom Boom. They're a little tougher than that. But it was still a 2-hit Morton. And takes care of business at 2807. So he's, with World 4 still to go, he's looking at about a 35 to 40 minute seed, I'd say, give or take. Depends how trolly World 4 wants to be. World 4 is an interesting one because a bridge is always required. That said, you don't know which fort it is. There's a fort right there, so Raikou is going to quickly take advantage and get 6F3, aka Carpet Fort. So if he's lucky, this will take him straight to be a very quick World 4. If he's not lucky, he could have to do a little bit of backtracking through this world. gimpxtreme finding out 6-6 is his next destination. We'll see if he actually plays this. Or, no, he's going to do what any sane person would do and just take the intentional death. Okay, so that fort did not break the law, did not create the bridge, so that other fort is somewhere else. Where? We don't know. It'll be on the eastern side of the map. That much we can determine. Nice end card finish by Raikou. Got an extra hammer for his trouble. Could pay off in World 8. We'll see. Okay, so he's got to play an extra 2 levels. Actually a little surprised he's not using his remaining clouds at this point. Could have used one to get through 2-1 with the Angry Sun, of course. As far as cloud use goes in Randomizer, there's no right or wrong way to use your clouds. The only thing we that we generally tend to stress as veterans is use your clouds before World 8, because the chances of them actually being useful in World 8 are pretty small, because there's only three levels where they actually pay off. That's 8-1, 8-2, and 8-4, and you'll almost certainly, especially in Turning Flags 2, need to play that fort. Raikourider in 5F2. Sky Fort. Couple of stars. Use the cloud for a swag look, classic gamer? Well, I know you would. They're all about that swag. 31-16 wand grab for Gimp, who's a little over 3 minutes behind. He heads into World 7. Still very much an open race here. No guarantees of anything, because World 8 can and will cause people huge problems. And if Gimp guesses right on his routing, this race could become very interesting very quick. Raikourider puts the Hammer Bros to sleep and goes for the second hand level. Raikourider's going to use a P-Wing on his last airship, which is World 1. You can go for that clip against Iggy. Ceiling clip against Iggy. See if Iggy's hitbox actually behaves, and it doesn't, of course, because Iggy is a troll. So it's a 4-hit Iggy. Grabs the wand at 32-40. We head now to the final world of the game, World 8. What's it gonna be? How awful is World 8 going to be? And Gimp is burning through his clouds now. Good idea. Gotta be careful, he can't afford to die here. Would have been bad. Okay, so we have Air Force and 3 pipes. And the fort is 2 fort. So in regard, the main strategy in World 8 is to get rid of the forts as quickly as you can. There are 4 of them. And also take note of what they are and are not breaking. So it's actually almost detrimental in a sense, particularly if you're having to gamble, to use hammers here, because you might beat a fort and you won't know what ends up being broken, particularly in an area like the Dark World, because you're having to force yourself to gamble. So let's see what the first pipe does. Okay. There's a lock, a tanks, and I think a fort. Okay. Raikou has found the correct pipe, and there is Navy. If Navy is correct, this is going to propel him straight to the finish. If he's wrong, he's gonna have to dig around for that fort. Luckily, I think both of them are in the same location, so this could pay off. Super Tank is at the gatekeeper. And it is not the Navy. It is not Air Force. It's not Super Tanks. Okay, Raikourider finds there are 2 tanks. One of them is a regular level. The other is a fort. He found the correct one. So raikourider is in 6F1. Is this the gatekeeper? Ooh. Gimp learning the hard way about Iggy's hitbox, as we have all. 35-32-1, grab 4, gimpxtreme. So he is now closing in on World 8. Iggy really trolling Gimp LOZ? Yeah, well, that's just a fact of life. He trolls everybody. So Raikou is going to backtrack out now that he's done here. It's not this. He knows where he knows that it's the 8th fort, and it is 8th fort. So now the question is, how do you get to 8th fort? Luckily, he hasn't even... Luckily or unfortunately, he hasn't even begun to start his exploration here, so this gives Gimp a very dim chance here, but he's got to hustle. Okay, so nothing in the front map is going to take him there. 8-1 is 4-4. So this is the World 8 we all know and love. This is even worse because Raikou knows exactly what he needs to do, but getting there, that could take some time, and there could be some hand trolliness to be around. So Gimp starts off in the dark world, finds nothing. He gets locked out there, so trying the next pipe. Raikou getting caught by a hand, and it's 6-1. He's going to take an intentional death. So he's going to probably play tanks here. What is it? It's 1-6. A little bit of palindrome there. Opposite of 6-1. So Gimp is going to play the Navy. Yeah, Gimp is taking the same route as raikourider, and, well, it's understandable because it's there. You're nuts if you don't play it. Because you never know. Okay, Raikou avoids a hand. I think he's found the correct pipe. I don't think there's any other pipe it can be. And there it is. And the gatekeeper is 8th fort. Best fort in the game. Although not according to some of our regular viewers who loathe this fort, but we'll skip that for a moment. So Raikou gets Fire Mario. Now, because we have random enemies in here, doing the one cycle to get to Boom Boom is a bit harder than normal. Almost always requires a damage boost. But only one damage boost, you can't do two. Raikou is Small Mario, so I'm actually... Okay, he's got Star, so he can go for... Little surprised he didn't just go straight to Boom Boom. Doesn't get the Star kill on Boom Boom, unfortunately. He takes care of business and finishes off the last Boom Boom fight, so now he's just got to make a beeline straight to the castle. Knowing your Gimp is going to play 8-1, he's going to... He's got a hammer suit, he's got stars, he should be fine. Going into the to this final battle with Bowser. Hopefully he gets the 5 hits on him, which he failed to do the last time. So yeah, it's pretty much It's absolutely 100% Raiku's to lose, and it would take a real brain cramp for that to happen, but he should be fine. Gibson won 6. He got caught by the hand. Interestingly, he's playing this. There he is. That will do it for raikourider, who completes the sweep against gimpxtreme after a torturous World 8. Get out the GGs for raikourider, who finishes with an official SRL time of 41:04. So, gimpxtreme is 3-9. Takes another intentional death. See if we can get Raikou in here for an interview. Yes, indeed, Algernon. I mean, this is in DKC3. Games Bond. No. We've had in Tourney Flakes 2. We have had 26, 27-minute seeds. In fact, I was in a race on Saturday where I had like a 29:50, and that wasn't even good enough to win. The winning time, I think, was like 28:25. So, you know, Tourney Flags 2 can go very fast. So, true enough, every seed is different. That said, you know, if you can get everything going, for Tourney Flags 2, it is possible to break 30 minutes. Maybe even possible to break 25 if everything breaks your way. So, gimpxtreme almost to the finish here. Five hammer shots away from Bowser. No problem. And that will do it. So, get out some GGs for gimpxtreme, who finishes with an official SRL time of 44 minutes, 12 seconds. See if we can get our participants in here for an interview. Alright, we have one here, so we'll bring... And we welcome gimpxtreme to the chat. GG.
Thank you.
So, your thoughts on tonight's tilt?
What's the deal with stars? I had like 40 stars in both runs. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, the Hammer Bros were occasionally generous, but more often than not, no, they just decided to have a funny with you.
Yeah,
But,
I felt it wasn't too bad. I feel like I noticed the mistakes I was making, and I'm like, man, that was the time difference there.
Yeah, I mean that World 7 play, having to play 7F2, you know, that hurt. There were a couple other little things, and then unfortunately you made what I thought was the correct play in World 3, double hammering your way around that block of levels. You got to skip Atlantis for one, but then you didn't have an extra hammer. You couldn't do a triple hammer on the God Pipe, and you had to just backtrack and play and find the other fort.
Yeah, I felt like that was gonna make or break the run for me there, because I was like, I already lost one by like a matter of seconds. I got to make a big play here to kind of edge the gap a bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, you took the lead at that point, but then you didn't have that extra hammer. Raikou didn't have a double hammer, so he had to do that long circle, but then he got to use that hammer to get a straight shot to Wendy. So it's like the seed giveth and the seed taketh away. And unfortunately for you, there was the correct fort was not in an easy location, so that only added to your problems.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I felt like I played really well, considering the first seed was trash. Yeah. The worst seed I've ever seen in a race. And then this seed was not too bad. I don't think it was that bad. I just think the items were pretty awful for both. The beginning of the seed gave a lot of hammers, which was very nice, but at the same time, it was risky because you didn't know where to use them and how many to use.
Yeah, it's one of those it's one of those things, you know, you just got to use them, and you know, just play it out as best you can. And both of you made different but equally valid plays with the hammers that you had, and you were a little more willing to play with the hammer bros and what have you. Raikou, not so much. And speaking of Raikou, we welcome raikourider to the chat. GG, sir.
Thanks.
GG,
so in that first seed, I don't think there was a winner. I think the seed won.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah, going 50 plus, especially for a couple of vets like you guys. Yeah, that is rather telling, and the seed was not giving. It was not giving. The only break it cut you, like, it cut you 2 breaks. It cut you a break in World 6, and it cut you a break at the end with World 8, but by then it had already pretty much, you know, sucked all the energy out of you.
Yeah, I was getting a little worried because, like, I got to World 8, and I'm looking at the timer, and I'm like, he's not done yet. Where is he? Because I don't even know where I'm at, honestly.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, where is this done? Where is this done? Like, GIMP has improved so much since the last tournament.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I think in Tourney Flags 1, I think when you get to about the 45 minute mark, you start thinking in the back of your mind, okay, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? Because the longer it goes, you know, the more nervous you become. It's like, where is it? Where is it?
Mm-hmm. And that nonsense at Bowser made it so much worse. It's like I forgot how to fight Bowser or something. Something silly. I think I was trying to time the task hammer.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up missing it and just wasn't sure how to recover from it because I also was I haven't been doing a lot of the old tournament flags. Mm-hmm. Just because I feel that I needed more work on the Group 2 flags, because I'd actually been playing a hybrid of the Group 2 and the tournament flags.
Oh, okay.
I know what it was. I had been playing the bracket flags except hammers break clocks. That's what I'd been playing. So okay. I had a lot more experience, and I think the Match 2 flags are so much more fun, just because if you're familiar with Zelda 1 Randomizer, it's kind of like shapes, and it just adds so much more depth to the game. But it also makes level 8 or World 8 extremely nerve-wracking, because World 8 tends to be the great equalizer, and when my pathing started to go astray and I did a bunch of areas that I didn't need to do to actually beat the to beat the world,
Right.
I started to get really, really worried about.
Yeah,
about
I felt
just
the
getting sniped.
I felt the same way too, because I got there and I was like, oh, okay, well that was easy to find Bowser. Now where's the bridge?
Right.
And I had hammers, but I was like, it doesn't matter if I use hammers. I'm gonna have to beat these stages anyway to know if I got it. So
the hammers would still. The hammers could have still helped with the pathing, but the forts were all right in your way, except for, of course, the one that you needed to actually get to Bowser's castle.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole seed. The whole second seed was so fast up until World 8 when you had to take this super unintuitive path to actually get up to the to actually build the bridge to Bowser's castle. I felt like in that second seed I played so much more cleanly than the first one.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way I felt. I felt the first one was a little sloppy, but then the second one I was playing extremely aggressive. I was making a lot of risky plays, and I felt pretty good about them.
I was too.
Yeah, Raikou, you were skipping Hammer Bros left and right. It was actually interesting. Like you had no time for these Hammer Bros. Like if they were there, they were there, but otherwise you were just ignoring them.
I felt I had enough items. I was getting a little low by the end. The cards again, they were complete garbage. I think there was one other than there being one hammer.
Yeah.
The rest of the items were just trash.
Yeah.
The one cloud I got was amazing. I saw Atlantis and I was like, nope, I am going to skip this level and I'm going to jump in and out of this pipe to make sure that I don't die.
Right.
And go back behind it.
I actually double hammered the bottom of the screen to avoid it in general.
Yeah, that was actually where the race could have swung decisively, because Gimp did the double hammer trick alongside the bottom of World 3. You couldn't, Raikou, because you only had one hammer. So he was doing fine until he found the correct pipe and he was out of hammers. So he had to go find that fort, whereas you, especially after you clouded Atlantis, were able to just zip right in and finish off Wendy about 2.5 minutes ahead of him. So like Gimp took the lead, then lost the lead, and then you pretty much took it and held about a 2.5 minute lead the rest of the way.
Oh, that Wendy too. That Wendy was so rude.
Yeah. I got really lucky. I got hit twice in a row, and she had 4 hits. And I'm just like, please don't kill me, because it's going to tilt me if I die to her.
Yeah,
I felt exactly the same way. I was in so much trouble against her.
Yeah,
she ruined so many races for me.
Yeah, both of you were like a pixel away from actually hitting the skids there on that fight. So yeah, it worked out pretty well.
And in general, the Koopalings in the seed were so rude.
Yeah, it's like they weren't really given, and both of you got dinged by Iggy in pretty much the same way. So nope. So yeah, it's like there were a lot of interesting parallels between you two as far as that went. So it was kind of amusing. Well, it happened to one, it's gonna happen to the other. So 2 down, many more to go.
Yes, many more.
I do like the format of this tournament, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I'm ready to leave this group and then get obliterated in brackets.
That's kind of my thought too. I was like, if I can get out of the group, that'd be great, but I'm gonna get destroyed once we hit brackets.
It's not an easy group either.
No, it's not.
No, Group A is as I was kind of looking at it the last couple of days, I thought Group A was definitely one of the more interesting group. A lot of unknown potential here.
Yeah, there are a lot of new players in this group, and there aren't. I actually don't. When I looked at the groups, I don't think that any of the like juggernauts were in this group either.
No,
I'm glad.
Group B is going to be pretty tough with Kerbo, Human Mustard, Killer App, and Tapatio.
I feel terrible for those people.
Yeah,
for circling around. Group K is going to be pretty wild with Paradox and the Haxor and Ace of Arrows, kind of staring it down each other. That could go quite a few directions as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out over really the next week. Kind of see who if some of these new players can step forward. And to answer LOZ cards, I don't think there actually is a group of death. To take a term from the World Cup, Group B and I'd say Group A are probably the most balanced as far as, like, you know, having some pretty some veteran talent in there.
But it's just everybody in the tournament's so skilled. It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
Exactly.
There's especially this group. There's not one free match for me in this group.
yeah.
No. I saw Raikkoon. I was first thinking, I'm like, I don't remember what he did last tournament, but I remember he was good. So my goal tonight was to go 1-1 at least. But hey, 0-2, I felt like I played really well. So
Yeah.
I know the mistakes I need to work on.
The last tournament, I got shorted so hard. I had Fonzoid in my group, and he and I advanced, and then the very first round of brackets, I get Grand Pooh Bear.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I got completely shafted in that tournament.
Yeah, I know. And then you Gimp lost to Paradox in round 2 because I remember calming that match.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was a rough match. Wendy bodied me several times.
Yeah. Well,
But I feel that I can, at the very least, make it out of groups if I just keep playing like this, because I feel all things considered, I played pretty well in both of the races. It sure doesn't feel like it in the first one, but that is one of the first race seed we had is one of the worst seeds I've played in a long time.
yeah, it's like a lot of tough levels and not getting a lot to really move this thing along. You know, it was a tough seed, but you know, to finish in the low 50s and to keep it relatively close between you two, that's pretty impressive.
Well, thanks. I have a little bit of stuff I want to get done tonight. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow, thankfully. I think I've got another race for another tournament tomorrow. But other than that, I'm just staying indoors because if anybody's seen what's on the news, I'm from the upper Midwest, and it's
we're you and me both. We're about to get very, 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 very cold.
Oh,
yeah,
it's actually forecast to I want to say be an all-time record in some cities.
Yep.
The kind of world record you don't want to break.
Right. Well, I'll sit back, relax, have some hot cocoa, and well, I don't think we have any matches tomorrow, but we've got a ton on Thursday. We've got like four double headers going.
Oh my.
I'm one of them, so I'm in one of the double headers. So
Yes, we'll be swapping roles.
I've got 3 double headers in 4 days, so I am just ready and raring to go.
Oh wow, you're banging all your matches out.
Yeah, I got the doubleheader on Saturday we put in for, so we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks Dream and raikourider for a great match, and thanks all for watching. Thanks Speed Gaming for putting this on. It was a great time.
Oh, absolutely. And shout outs to Adirondack Rick and the Speed Gaming scheduling crew for making all this work and giving us main stage, because I was on main stage for 3 races in a row.
Oh yeah, wow.
Just big shout outs to the scheduling crew.
All right. Well, thanks all for watching. Got I think a match going on Randomania, and I think we have another going on in 30 minutes. I'm not sure what channel. I've been so far out of the loop, but there should be one coming up between, I believe, One Fine Day and I think it's MIDI Guy DP. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll see you all again very soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Oh, I just got the note. The next match will be on this channel, so keep it. One Fine Day versus MIDI Guy DP, so keep an eye out for that. We will see you all in about 30 minutes.